Hello and welcome to Desync Nerds, a Nintendo Switch podcast. This is episode 20, airing on Sunday, the 11th of February. We're your hosts. I'm Colin on Twitter at DSNColin, and he's Devon on Twitter at Kulana. You can find the show at Desync Nerds. As you know, we bring you the latest news and hot topics from around the internets. This week, we have rumor roundups and updates, a Nintendo investor Q&A, and everybody loves Dragon Quest builders. But first, Devon, what have you been playing? Let me guess.
Yeah. There may be
Dragon
a
Quest
reason
Builders.
it's literally in the intro. Yeah, I've been playing Dragon Quest Builders and it's so good. At some point, probably next week, maybe the week after, I want to do like a full breakdown of it. But for now, just know that it's really good. There's a demo. Go try the demo. Maybe don't try the demo. I don't know. How do you feel? What do you think about that?
I mean, if you're on the fence, you should definitely try the demo, but know that your demo save won't carry over when you buy the game. So
yeah, that was a big disappointment, and I was really sad.
I spent so much time in the demo too. Like I leveled everything and created a big square around all the light up space because I'm like, all right, when the game comes out, I won't have to do this stuff. No, I'm so sad.
Yeah. So yeah, I played Dragon Quest Builders, and there's also there's a Pick a Pix DLC that just came out and a demo for it. So I'll probably pick that up just because I'm a sucker for dumb puzzle games like that. Oh. What about you? What have you played?
A little Lost Sphere, a little Hulu, and a lot of Dragon Quest Builders. I've basically shelved Lost Sphere for now because I really didn't expect to like this game as much as I have been, and I've been loving it. So yeah, I'm already past the part where like the demo ended. I've already added the next 2 people to my town, got the next big weapons and tools, and I spent a little bit this morning. I'm like kind of out of town space already, so I started making like an underground mine to put more stuff in.
Nice. Is
the
bedrock not super low or not super high in that game? I've not actually.
I haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
I'm only like 5 or 6 deep, and I haven't found it yet.
Can you build stairs? Like, could you go vertically up?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about vertically, but I have stairs like stepping down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The same, those little stone stairs right in front of your flag. You can make those. Like I can make those.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're not getting it, we really like this game. Both of us have really enjoyed this. So, and you didn't think you were gonna like it, right? That's if I remember.
No, I didn't at all. This stuff usually isn't really my jam. Like I loved Minecraft for 30 minutes in the same way that I love Dynasty Warriors for 30 minutes and Grand Theft Auto for 30 minutes.
Yeah, an interesting experience, and then it gets boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
But yeah, that's all I got.
It's a great game. It's a great game.
All right, on to the news. First thing on the docket, a licensing company has reignited rumors over a potential Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy Switch port. Wow.
Mouthful.
A little bit.
So this was a big deal, I think, about a year ago, maybe a little bit closer than that, where everybody wasn't sure that the Insane Trilogy port was coming. And just as a little background, so it's the first 3 Crash Bandicoot games remastered with a little, like, a very, very small feature upgrades. Yeah, so like it's like somewhere between 9 and 12 months ago, people were pretty sure it was coming, and then it just never happened. So, but where this came from, there was an article written in, and this is a thing, I did not realize this was a thing, the Licensing Source Book Europe, which is just like a magazine about licensing companies. Which, again, that's the weirdest thing. Anyway, the company that licenses merch for Activision put it, like, they were talking about how they were doing, and they specifically called out how well they were doing on the back of the Insane Trilogy doing so well. So, and just they make like Crash Bandicoot plushies and stickers and stuff like that. And so they then went on to talk about how they were expected to start doing even better. And this is a quote: 2018 will be. Well, that's a really bad quote. 2018 will be going even broader, and then in parens, Switch and PC, referencing the game. So they expect to see it. And then as a follow-up to that, shortly after that, the internet started really talking about this rumor. they pulled that quote from the article, which kind of lends it some credence in my eyes. But I want to see this. I like these games. This is one of my early gaming memories. Is playing PS1 with my little brother when he's at that point he was holding the controller upside down because he didn't know what he was doing. But
Doesn't he still hold the controller upside down?
I mean, I only dropped him on his head the week he got home from the hospital. So
And then every subsequent week ever since.
I mean,
He's like 20 now.
the first time it was an accident. Every time after that, it was because he deserved.
That's okay, fair.
Oh, what do you think? Are you into this at all?
I also played these when I was a young tyke with fresh floor dents in my head, but it never really caught on for me. I never really enjoyed it that much. But I mean, the fans of this game are insane. So, and plenty. So
Why they want the Insane trilogy?
I see what you did there. You should feel bad though.
A little bit, but
Anyway, so there's that. Next up, there was a huge interview with the producer of Octopath Traveler in Famitsu.
so the full interview will be in the show notes. It is a translation, mind you, so that comes with all the wonderful things about translations.
Hilarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, there will be the link will be in the show notes, but just some quick tidbits. The biggest theme of the game is the journey, in quotes. I don't really quite know what that means, but I don't know. It's interesting. They also talked about how the character classes are supposed to be realistic. They're based on occupations in medieval Europe, which I don't really know how they make occupations in medieval Europe like character classes for a JRPG. Is that
I have inappropriate comments based on what Rose's class might be in a medieval setting.
I mean, she was literally a dancer, and there was a subsection of the story
Yeah,
about her
a
prostitution.
dancer. Exactly.
The prostitution was a strong theme in the demo. Like,
Well, was it Lamias, the snake women in Square Enix games?
Mhm.
They blow kisses and charm your units, and their units useless, or they attack each other. Maybe that's what she does.
so, but beyond that, I don't really understand what's a sheep herder gonna be in Octopath. Like, what is the sheep?
He's gonna be a pikeman. He's gonna poke him with his pitchfork. It could work. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 8, so it's not really like they have to go too far. I feel like there's a couple of obvious ones. Like an apothecary could be a potions guy who throws damaging potions, kind of thing. Like, so maybe the smallness of the character class number will make that easier. And then sort of wrapping into that first one, the battle difficulty is based on the area that you're at and not character level. So you can grind and go to harder areas and then be super powerful. Kind of my takeaway from that. And then finally, Ulbrich and Primrose were chosen to be the demo protagonists as their story started in a similar place. And we saw them kind of link up at some point in the Ulbrich version, I believe, yeah?
Well, we saw them about to, or they did? I don't remember.
Yeah, at this point,
It's been so long.
Yeah. 5 months ago
I think they didn't ultimately, but they were about to.
So I love this idea that you can have 8 different stories that you play through, and every time you play through one, they're gonna crisscross. Like that's one of those buttons I have. It's like base building for me. It's just when there's a big world and there's kind of cohesion in the world and stuff kind of passes over each other. I don't know. I enjoy that a lot.
Small world in a big world type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Did you look through the interview at all? Did you see anything else that was critically
I
important to
haven't yet,
about?
but I plan to. I just haven't had a chance yet.
It's in the show notes.
Oh snap.
Anyway,
probably the most important part. Adorable mini Switch cases are coming to Japan soon. Or no, they are in Japan now.
Are they out right now? I want them so bad. So I'm gonna do a terrible Wait, I'm going to do terribly at describing them, but again, in the show notes, there's a link to the release article with pictures. So they're charms, so like keychains. This is apparently a thing in Japan that they really like things to hang off like backpacks. And yeah, exactly. So if you're looking at the video, he's got a little Dragon Ball Z charm.
That's GT. How dare you? Anyway.
Nerd.
I'm sorry.
So they're like 1/3 scale Switch cases, and then you open them up like you would expect to open up a Switch case, and they have little spaces for the games, and they're amazing, and I want them so bad. Like, other than the
Yeah, they're like barely bigger than the cartridge itself. Like, yeah, they're adorable.
good. I've got one of those like cloth fold up Switch cases with a zipper on it, and I really want to just buy a couple of those and run them through the zipper hole, and just that I have little charms hanging off, for they're so cute. Yeah, I love these so much. So they currently have boxes for Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2, Super Mario Odyssey, and ARMS. And I honestly don't expect it to get too. I don't expect the release games to be much bigger than that, just because the Nintendo first party thing. But I really can't tell. Really want to import some of these. So if anybody knows a guy,
I'm pretty sure you could probably find those on eBay. I was gonna say Amazon, but you probably find them on eBay. Should just try it out. Or jp.amazon.com and just
yeah,
put an American address in there.
I really.
Anyway, moving along. Another game release rumor. ND Cube is working on a new Mario Party and it's coming in 2019. Oh, lame.
So okay, first off, no duh. Of course they're working on a new Mario Party game. Like, I don't understand this obsession with this franchise that Nintendo's put out at least a game every console for, when did the first Mario Party come out? Like 96, 97?
I think it's more like, oh my god, it's finally happening. Kind of like if you heard Animal Crossing is coming out. No duh. But hey, at least we have news on it. Right now we have nothing on Animal Crossing. That's probably what it is. That's what I'm
Yeah,
gonna guess it is.
that's fair. Back on an ND Cube, they have developed the last 5 Mario Party games, and other than Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, they've not done anything other than Mario Party since GameCube. So yeah, these are people that know the franchise, which is good. But that said, yeah, the 2019, knowing that there's a release date coming soon, air quotes, is exciting. Because I've been waiting for this. I actually had not emulators, because I would never emulate, running in the living room where we were playing, like, it was the GameCube Mario Party with the squad over. So
I remember playing those on Nintendo 64 and having the controller just burn a hole through the middle of my hand. Yeah. Good times. Good times.
is best game. It's not a good game unless you get damaged playing it. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't understand how you would even imply anything else.
All right. Moving along. Dragon Quest Builders got exclusive DLC, but only if you pre-ordered it from GameStop. Lame.
From GameStop specifically. So that's why I wanted to talk about this, because I wanted to be a salty dude and just be like, why? Why are we still doing this? It's 2018. Can we stop, please? Like, don't force me to go to retailers that I don't like. Furthermore, that other people don't even have. Is GameStop even an EU thing? Like, I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it might be the same company, but I think it's called something else there.
Yeah, it's just like Game or something dumb.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the one in Australia. I don't know if that's the same in EU or it's just Game.
If we hadn't been clear, we're dumb Americans. We don't know things. Be nice to us.
Yo, I'm a dumb Canadian. How dare you?
Oh, where do you live right now?
South Canada.
Okay. But anyway, so the DLC items, they're very cute. They're 3 pieces of furniture in the shape of the game's iconic slimes. There's a king slime lamp, which, if you aren't familiar, is a giant slime. There's a regular slime lamp, and then there's a giant wall decoration. Like, it looks like 3 posters on the wall, and it's the slime eyes and the slime mouth. And it's great. And I wish I had it. But I pre-ordered through Amazon, so I didn't get it. I'm angry.
I got mine at GameStop the day after it came out. I should have just pre-ordered it. And the best part is I took somebody else's pre-order because they hadn't picked it up yet, and the dude at the store was just like, "Yeah, you can have this one." Like, dang it. I'm so salty because that's even where I got mine. But whatever.
You
I'm
just
not
missed it
I'm
by
not
24
salty.
hours.
Whatever.
I don't think this should be a thing. I don't like that it's still a thing that store specific pre-order bonuses. It's better than back in the day this is like a year ago. It's better than when it was like Amazon got this set of pre-order stuff and then GameStop got this other set and Game got this other stuff. Like that was a thing, and that's just I don't know. I don't like it. But
I
anyway,
don't yeah, I don't know. I don't like feeling like I'm missing out on content, but I didn't mind that because I got to choose what I wanted, you know?
yeah, that's fair.
But I didn't even hear about this leading up to it. I heard about it way after it was too late. But whatever. I'm not salty either.
Maybe you should read the links I put in
Anyway,
the show notes.
maybe I should. I'm just the co-host. What do you want from me? Ridge Racer 8 announcement leaked, air quotes. What does
So
that mean?
everybody's been losing their mind over this, and I'm salty skeptical Devon. So a random developer put on his LinkedIn that he was wow. I start over. A random developer's LinkedIn had all of the projects he's done in the last like 5 years, and he recently updated that to have Ridge Racer 8. So while he's working at Bandai Namco, Ridge Racer 8 was one of the projects, and then he also mentioned a FPS/adventure exclusive, which we'll get into that rumor in a minute or a little bit later. It's somewhere in here. So he mentioned that Ridge Racer 8 was a Switch exclusive, and I think it's a load of crap. I don't. So as of 6:20 p.m. on Saturday, yesterday, I've not looked today, but as of 6:20 yesterday, it was still up. And I honestly think that if this was a real LinkedIn account and these were real references, he would have taken it down. Because, I mean, this is a big leak if it's real. It's huge. And having it still be up is just bad. So the other thing to note, there's some like conflicting things to whether or not it's a real account. It doesn't have a photo, which is kind of weird for like actually use LinkedIn. Most people put photos on their LinkedIn. But he does also have there's this LinkedIn is a dumb social network, I just want to say that. He has likes or their version of likes from other developers. So he'll say I can do this skill, and then other people will say yes, I confirm that person can do that
They like
skill.
endorsements or whatever?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he does have those from other developers, and there's a fair amount of them, and they do look legitimate. So I don't know. I don't think it's real. I still don't.
No, it's real because I want Ridge Racer 8, so.
I mean, it's a franchise that's exclusively been Sony up till now, I believe.
Ridge Racer. I mean, the last one I played was on PSP or was it Vita?
No, it's PSP
So, yeah.
because I had it too.
Oh, okay.
I guess I may have been a Vita one too, but anyway, that's not important.
Yeah, whatever.
So,
No, it's real. You're wrong. It's real because I need it to be real.
yeah, and I mean, I'm in the same boat. I want it to be real, but I don't understand why the internet gets so excited about rumors. There was one, actually, the other one that he specifically talks about. People are talking about that as if it's confirmed, and it just you actually made it. We'll get there. Never mind. We'll get there. Moving on.
All right. Atari details what they want the crowd-funded RollerCoaster Tycoon to look like in a pseudo-design document.
So yet again, there's a link in the show notes. But the main takeaway from this is that it's a full-featured RollerCoaster Tycoon game. I was in their initial announcement of it, they really referenced the mobile version, and so I was really concerned that it was going to be just a slightly better mobile version with timers and Smurf berries and all that crap.
Yo, like Mercenary Saga? I'm
But it
only
does-
mildly salty. No, that was absolutely a phone game scaled up, and then like very few things changed.
Yeah, but okay, so that's okay to me. I'm fine with that, especially if I know that's what it is going in. What bothers me about this is, or what I thought it was going to do was, I built this like ride.
Oh,
And
like
then,
keep the timers?
yeah, and then 3 hours
Oh,
later,
yeah.
that ride actually exists, and that was something that's in the phone game. It's very much so that, like, everything that's awful about mobile right now. So I was scared that was going to be. But yeah, so they detail that more extensively. The one big takeaway for me is that there's going to be 3 game modes. There will be like a campaign where it's just story mode. There's a challenge mode, and there's going to be sandbox free build. And I don't feel like they would have all of that in there if it was just going to be a mobile garbage. Wait 3 hours to build this ride crapshoot. But I don't know. What do you think about this game? Are you into this?
I loved these. I'm super excited. I really also hope it's not a even if even if they have a version on mobile that isn't timer based, like a Mercenary Saga, where it's just a game you pay for, and then it's basically functionally a game. I just hope it's not that turned up for Switch. I hope it's a whole new ground up thing, which is what it sounds like it will be. So I'm super excited for that.
They do have this is off track, but they have the original RollerCoaster Tycoon as a port to the phone, and it's the
Oh,
full
do
game.
they?
Yeah, so that's a thing.
I wonder how well that controls. I bet it's not too terrible. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, moving along. Galgun was refused a rating in Germany. It's functionally banned.
Uh, so, oh, sorry. This is my fault. Galgun 2. Galgun
Oh
2.
yeah, Galgun 2.
Which is
2.
important to note because Galgun 1
Made
successfully
it.
made it.
Yeah. I remember reading that.
As far as we know, there's no like major theme or
Difference.
feature changes. Yeah, it's basically more of the same. So the idea that the second one would not make rating, but the first one would, is very weird. Believe the developer commented on it, but I didn't actually look up that because it's Galgun. I don't really care.
The developer said something along the lines of like, "This was a highly anticipated title in Germany." Like, was it though?
Was it a highly anticipated title anywhere?
Outside of maybe Japan.
Yeah. So I'm surprised that Germany is more prude than Nintendo. And you threw shade at me for that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Germany's a lot more straight and narrow. I mean, Nintendo, don't get me wrong, until the Switch has also been very straight and narrow. But I feel like Germany was probably a little bit more straight and narrow.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
And then the other big comparison that I'm making in my head is that the EU in general is more like sex positive as a theme in their media. You know, in America, we freak out over a shirtless woman, but I've actually seen like super derisive comments about how that's just not that big of a deal. So for this to be a thing that everybody's freaking out about is like, why is this the line?
I mean, I don't know. I also don't think Germany is part of that Europe. I think that's more of like the more Western European. But I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm Canadian. What the hell do I know?
You're American, don't let him.
I mean, I'm kind of both. Anyway, on to important things. My Nintendo points may do something in March, all caps included.
Not May. This is confirmed. This is a Nintendo announcement
Well,
they have
okay.
put out.
I meant may as in may do something worthwhile. I should specify.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
Okay.
if it's another like wallpaper thing, I don't care.
No. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with your statement, but I am going to get pedantic over the details. It's
Okay, go for it.
it's super disappointing overall. So the idea is you earn gold points. You get 5% of your gold point of what you spend as gold points back. If you buy a physical game, you get 1% back. Here's the new stuff. You can then redeem those coins on your next eligible, is a specific word they used, eligible, implying that there are non-eligible digital purchases that certain things won't qualify. And for every gold coin that you have, it discounts that purchase at a rate of 1 penny per gold coin. And I didn't find the EU version, so I don't actually know what it is to their space dollars, but uh so I have like I have 10 games and they're anywhere from $30 to $60 per game. So I've got somewhere between $300 and $600 in games, plus everything digital. That's just physical games. And I've got like 400 gold points. Like it's just I don't understand why the conversion rate is so poor.
I mean, I if you're gonna buy those games anyway, then it's just a nice icing on the cake, and that's what they're thinking. I don't know. It's better than literally nothing.
I would honestly prefer literally nothing because this feels like we acknowledge that you're supporting us and we appreciate that, but also we only appreciate it this much. It's like the difference between leaving a 1 penny tip at a restaurant versus a $0 tip. Because the 1 penny tip's just like, screw you. Whereas the zero,
Yeah. The tip is like a $0 tip is like, well, I guess maybe he forgot. I don't know. But the 1 penny tip is like, I acknowledge and I hate you.
exactly. And
Yeah.
so to me, that's what it feels like. Is that we acknowledge that you're putting effort in, and we appreciate your support, but also we don't really appreciate your support. It's cool that they are going to do something. And so the important thing to note is that the gold coins expire at the end of the month from when you bought them. So at the end of a month, a year after you bought them. So if you were a Switch release supporter, you bought every game that came out on early March when they came out, you will have until the end of this March to use them. So you can actually use them as an early adopter, which is good. That was one of the big concerns, is that Switch release day buyers would get left out in the cold, and that's just not going to be the case. So good on Nintendo for avoiding that pitfall.
Cool beans. All right, moving along. Really dumb interview with Kozumi, the producer of SMO. Okay, hold on a second. Is this the one with Toad's head and Mario's nipple? This is the most important thing on the internet. What do you mean really dumb?
It was so dumb.
Have you never thought, is that really attached to Toad? Or is that a hat? That thought's never crossed your mind.
There's literally, I think it's the 10,000-year-old door. There's a game where he takes it off and he's just got this white nub. So
exactly. So this needed to be addressed. There's also games where Mario doesn't have nipples, so this needed to be addressed.
He has nipples, but he doesn't have a belly button, implying he was a test tube. So yeah, when he was asked about that, he just like laughs. He's just like, why does anybody care? I don't understand. Yeah. He's good natured about it, and he makes it a thing. But so there's a link in the show notes for the full YouTube video. There are gameplay, not story, spoilers at the end of the video, or about halfway through the video. So if you're worried about Super Mario Odyssey spoilers, maybe stay away. Because this
is more important.
It's a really cool reveal what they spoil, so you kind of want to experience that. Anyway, what else does he talk about? Oh, in response to the Toad's head question, he says it's definitely part of his head, but, and I quote, "I'm going to leave it to all of you to figure out how exactly that works out." So that's the thing. They also asked him, this is important, if there's anything in Super Mario Odyssey that still hasn't been found by fans. And he basically says yes, but I'm not going to spoil it, so I'm literally going to give you 0 details. And I think that's really, like, I don't know. I like this sort of stuff where it's like 10 years later, they found this room where the developers, wrote this message out. Oh, I don't know. I think that stuff's kind of cool, but.
That is pretty cool.
So.
Also, that's the most important interview we've ever covered on the show. In our 20 episodes, that's the most important interview.
Oh, dumb. I almost didn't want to talk about it because of how dumb it was.
You mean important. Anyway, moving along. Square Enix announced at their earnings press conference that there would be no big releases until after March, which is not that big a deal because that's basically now.
Yeah, it's next month. This was early the week. So, but what that does mean is that we're not going to get Octopath Traveler this month or next month, which I kind of suspected that would be like a mid to late into this year. Like, didn't really expect to see that until, June at the earliest. But also we're not going to get DQ11, which is the full MMO DQ, I believe. Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so
I think the more important thing that this means is there's not going to be a Secret of Mana port in the next 2 months, and that's what's really killing me.
I actually kind of want that. I never played that as a kid, so I'm kind of interested to go back and see how much of it is nostalgic. But
I did, and I want it so bad, but I don't want to get it on PS4 because I prefer the Switch platform. Moving along, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 patch 1.3 has been released. What's in it?
We have New Game Plus, Easy Mode, and you can now skip the Core Crystal bonding scene, which is the most important thing in the world when you've got, I think I have like 60 common cores just sitting because I just didn't want to do it for the 0.1% chance that I would get a rare blade. Easy mode though. I couldn't find any actual details on what that means. Because like the game, it wasn't that
I'll
hard.
tell you. I'll tell you what that means. I'll tell you what that means, Devin. That means you can beat it now.
No, I can't. Hate you.
Shade thrown.
Um, the game wasn't that hard. There was I had issues with frustrating mechanics, but it wasn't actually like a difficult thing. Stop knocking me off the cliff and one-shotting me, and we'll be great. Um, so for New Game Plus mode, I'm a little confused about this too. So you keep your driver levels, keep all your unlocked skills on your blades and your drivers. You keep all your blades, keep all your items and your gold, your merc ranking, your town development levels, your unique monster kills, which who cares? Like if you're going through the game at a higher level, you're going to be able to beat all those again. Anyway, and you keep, and this is a quote, I don't know what this means, cutscenes. And that confused
Did
look
they
on,
add more?
I don't know. I have no idea. The only thing I can think of is that it keeps your like I've seen this cutscene status, but I don't think you
Or
had
like, or like in the extras menu at the end of the game, like you wouldn't want to get your like your agate and your Dahlia and your whatever cutscenes. I'd hate to have those like because I got one for Sheba, and if I lost that, I'd be annoyed because Sheba's expensive to re like figure out to re go through all her quests.
but you
That's
keep all that.
probably what they mean.
No, because you
Yeah,
keep,
yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like if that got reset, how would I do that?
but
That's
that's
probably what that means.
oh I say okay. So it's the collection menu is what we think that's about then.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. That's my guess.
Yeah, that seems the most reasonable. I don't know. Are you gonna go back for this? Does this at all interest you? New Game
I
Plus,
mean,
man.
it does, but I've got other stuff to do, other stuff to play. I still haven't finished 15. I still haven't finished Lost Sphere. I still haven't finished Setsuna. Now I got DQB.
Let's be real honest. Setsuna's moved off the to-do list. It's not.
I don't want it to, but yeah, probably. I do actually really want to play this though, because you keep your levels, and I'm still getting one stomped by this stupid giant gorilla,
And the
even though I
T-Rex.
beat the game. And the T-Rex, yes, 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 yes. Even though I've beat the game, like those two mobs could have beat the game if they were put in the right place at the right time. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I did love that where it's like the end of the game and you're like level what, 80? Is that about right?
74, and they're still like pounding me into the dirt.
Yeah, level
I
100
got the
DD.
gorilla. I got the gorilla to like his enrage time, not timer, but like his enrage whatever 50% health, and he was just like, okay, now you're dead. Just kidding. You just wasted 70 minutes of your life getting me to 50%.
And now I one-shot you.
And now you're dirt. Yeah, now you're eating dirt. Cool. Cool. Thanks, Monolith Soft.
You put like 120 hours into it. You can't even complain. You clearly enjoyed the offering that they put out.
I did actually really enjoy that game. I liked it a lot more than I was expecting.
But anyways,
Anyway, moving along. Celeste, a game released on every major platform out right now, is doing the best on the Switch. Woo!
eh. So again, they don't release numbers, and who cares? Numbers are boring. Um, but they did say yeah, it's they're selling the most on the Switch, which really doesn't surprise me because it feels like a Nintendo title to me. It feels like a if
The
this were
proper place for it.
yeah, if this were on the SNES, like I would have been like, yeah, okay, this looks like an SNES game. It feels like an SNES game. And then also the fact that it's portable, which I mean, I'm gonna be real honest. A lot of my purchase decisions and the fact that I am willing to invest in these games is based on the fact that it's portable. I can take it on the plane. I can take it to family for Thanksgiving and Christmas and whatnot. Like, yeah. So I'm not too surprised. But they did also say that they're going to be putting out a patch soon to address post-release feedback and bug fixes like that. So that's cool.
It's way cool. All right, moving along. There's a rumor running around that Bandai Namco is developing Metroid Prime 4. This was kind of sort of together with the Ridge Racer 8 one, I think.
Yeah, so this is one of the things, and this is why this frustrates me so much. He literally says an unannounced first-person slash adventure title. That's all he says. And
Oh, so Galgun. Galgun 3, confirmed.
and people are literally calling that. They're calling him confirmation that this is a real thing. And no. One, he doesn't even say Metroid Prime 4. And two, even if he did, He's not. There's no trustworthiness. He's not. I'm so annoyed by this because okay, so just some little background information. I put every news article I find in a thing, and then I leave a space where people can where Colin specifically can comment. And in that section, Colin said, "I thought this was confirmed already," and he was referencing the fact that people are reporting this as fact, and I don't understand. Like
It's like 2 weeks in a row now too.
ah,
It was confirmed last week for some other reason. Yeah.
doesn't make any sense to me. So I was reading through the Reset Era thread about this, and one guy posted kind of my feelings. He says, "I need to take assistance with Mother 3 localization off my LinkedIn finally. It's been bothering a lot of people." And it's like, yeah, I could put whatever I want on my LinkedIn. Like, I could say that I worked on, the first Animal Crossing. Like, it doesn't make it a legitimate statement. Like, I'm so annoyed by this. I'm probably more annoyed than I should be, but still, it bothers me. So I think it was Nintendo Everything reached out to Nintendo to ask about this, and they specifically said they don't comment on rumors and speculation. This is not confirmed. This is not real news. This is a rumor. Like, I am the barest levels of real journalist. I am at the bottom of that rank, and that these people with actual websites are reporting this as actual factual it's just so frustrating to me. Hold yourself to higher standards.
As the best president would say, this is fake news.
It is. Ugh. Anyway, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about this? Do you even care? Like,
No, I totally don't care. I don't care about really either of these titles. Like, I want a Ridge Racer, but if either of these didn't come out, I wouldn't care.
one of the big things about the whole like Metroid Prime one is like we know that's coming. Nintendo's officially
For
announced
sure.
that is a game that is coming.
Mhm.
The developer though, like because they've been tight-lipped about the developer, but honestly, who cares? Like, I mean, I guess
That's where I'm at because Nintendo's already shown this, a picture of the 4 and the smoke and Metroid 4. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? We know it's coming.
it is a
I
confirmed
don't.
game.
I also don't understand the Ridge Racer 8 thing is the bigger thing to me because we'd never heard that before.
Yeah,
Yeah. I also care about Ridge Racer more as a franchise than Metroid Prime because I've never played a Metroid Prime game. So
they're so good. I like these a lot.
I mean, I'm told that often by you often.
It can't just be. You've got other nerd people in your life. Jasmine's friends love this game. I guarantee you that Jasmine's friends love this game.
That's true. That's 100% true. Yeah.
Yeah, I want Metroid Prime 4. I don't care who develops it. I mean, if it's not like there was a snafu with Other M, where a company that they're best known for putting their jiggle physics into games, they developed Other M, and so of course they're super like misogynistic towards Samus, and that bothered a lot of people that she was this like strong female character, and she got kind of turned into every negative stereotype about a female. And so the fact that it's not being done by Team Ninja, yeah, that's kind of a big deal, I guess. But beyond that, I don't know.
Team Ninja did the last ones.
They did Other M.
Oh, Team Ninja was the reason that they was the jiggle physics.
Yeah, because they did.
I liked Team Ninja.
You can enjoy their games, but also recognize that their views on women are probably not the most forward thinking.
I've played 2 recent Team Ninja games, and that's not there in those games. So they made a ridiculous decision then when they were doing this last one with Samus.
No, no, listen.
They did Warriors.
They did Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball.
Oh god dang. That's actually them. That I hate that company. I mean, I like Warriors. Warriors wasn't bad. I mean, it was bad because Fire Emblem is bad, but I don't feel like they did that.
I feel like they made it worse though. But yeah, they make beach volleyball. Which
Can you make Camilla worse? There's no making Camilla worse than Intelligent Systems made her. Anyway, we're getting way off topic.
Way off track. That about wraps us up for news.
Hey, game releases. It looks like we have our favorite number 4 again this week. We'll start off with Owlboy. What is Owlboy?
So real quick, there are so many releases this week. I'm hitting a very small sampling. If you actually care, go look. I pulled out what I think is probably going to be the best stuff that released this week, but there are seriously, I think it was like 15 games. It was crazy. But yeah, so Owlboy is a game. Done. It is 24.99 USD, 22.99 euros, and 18.99 pounds. It releases on the 13th, so Tuesday, which is a weird day for Nintendo. And it is a port of a amazingly well-regarded PC game. I pulled up a couple of reviews. I think Destructoid gave it a perfect. The not Polygon, Rock Paper Shotgun spent the whole review just, I love this game, I love this game, I love this game. Like, so it's very well regarded. And it's a gorgeous game. I don't know if you've looked at any screens or videos of it, but it's very, very pretty pixel style, and not like, it feels like they took pixels and they made it kind of like try to look like a very, I'm not communicating my idea properly. Like they're very intricate too. It's not that kind of downsampled Minecraft style pixels. It's
like HD pixel art, basically.
Yeah. They used pixels to draw very, very intricate and kind of involved backgrounds and art. So, anyway, it's gorgeous. One of the things that they talked about, or that the RPS interview specifically talked about, was that it has strong Metroidvania elements, which is something that I'm interested in, so I will probably be picking this up when there's a physical version coming out. It is confirmed as a physical version is coming out, but we don't know when exactly. There's rumor that it's May 29th, but it's rumor, and as we've heard, I despise rumors in a big way. But I will probably pick it up when physical comes out. So, it also had a 10-year development cycle, which I don't even know how you do that, unless it's like a Starbound, or not Starbound, farming game.
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley, thank you. Unless it's like one guy that just does everything on his own in his spare time for 10 years. I really don't understand how you do a 10-year dev cycle. But it is a 2D puzzle platformer, so take that for what it's worth. And I know not everybody loves those styles of games,
including me.
Yeah.
No,
I'm talking about you, actually.
Oh, snap! I'm right here. All right, move along. Faye. What is Faye?
That's pronounced?
I believe so.
It is, just to be clear, FE is the name, is how it's spelled. I don't know if he's right that that's how you pronounce it, but it's not important. It is $19.99. There was no other pricing data available. It releases on the 15th, and so this is the game that led to the initial release of the most recent Nintendo Direct. This is the one where they were like, the further announcement about FE will be in the upcoming Nintendo Direct, and they sent that out in like mid to late December. So, but more importantly, on the game, it is a 3D platformer with a very weird sound. EA emphasizes this in their press releases about the game. They talk about how you can learn new sounds and then use those sounds to control the forest animals and stuff. So I think I've said this before. I don't really know what that means, and I'm mildly intrigued to figure it out, but I'm not sure how much I'm into a 3D platformer at this point. So, oh, and another thing that EA specifically calls out is that they say that in the Switch version specifically, HD Rumble is going to really emphasize those sounds and bring those sounds to life, so to speak. So, and that again,
I think they called it tactile sound was the quote.
Yeah, and so for me personally, that's another thing that I'm really into, because I want to see these, like as we've said, the Joy-Cons are bits of technological magic, and I want to really experience that, and I've not seen anybody do it well. So I'm at 2 of 2 in the last, games that I kind of want. So I may pick it up, but again, as I just said, the second on my game releases that I want. And that doesn't, take into account that I'm an hour into Dragon Quest Builders, so. Is this your jam at all? Do you care?
I want to, but I don't. I feel like if I pick this up, I'll play for 5 minutes and get bored of it or get tired of it, because I'm not a big fan of platformers. I keep forgetting that too, and I don't want to do that again. So
rediscover it. I seriously was so confused when you bought Yooka-Laylee. I was like,
I was like, it has all the charm. It looks like a Banjo-Kazooie, like that, because that's obviously what it's based on. Like, I'm gonna love this game. I know I am. And then 2 hours into it, I'm like, oh yeah, I hate these games. I haven't liked these since Spyro. What am I doing with my life?
but it is almost in impulse buy territory at $20. So
I mean, Mercenary Saga was impulse buy territory at 15. I don't know. I don't know that 5. I'm trying to set up a fish tank right now. I need all the money I can get.
that is an expensive
So
hobby.
yeah. All right, moving along. This is also a very expensive hobby, just for the record. Bayonetta 1 and 2 coming out.
So the pricing for this is really weird. You can buy them individually. You can buy them together. If you buy them physically, it's $60, $59.99. No, the pricing data could be found. I'm sure it's on Amazon, and I'm just lazy. Anyway, if you buy them digitally, you can buy two first for $50, and then for an additional $10, pick up the first one. Or you can buy the first one individually for $30, and then spend another $30 to pick up the second one. Like, I kind of understand why they made this so convoluted, but also it's very confusing. Like, I shouldn't need a minute to explain their pricing structure. It's just it's excessive. But it releases on February 16th, and it's Bayonetta. It's the only thing keeping Platinum Games alive, and I mean, I feel like that says a lot about the success of the game and how good it is. So it's a like action adventure style game in the vein of like, it makes me think of Devil May Cry. Maybe that's not a fair comparison, but
No, I was gonna say that too. It's like it's kind of funny to say. It's like an over the top Devil May Cry, which is funny because Devil May Cry is already over the top.
yeah, the game is predicated on its ridiculousness.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna disagree with you. I think this pricing is amazing. I love this, especially the one where I can buy one for 30 and then buy the second one for 30, and pay a little bit up front and then finish that on the back end. Because like if I play one, I may not want to,
Yeah,
and then I'll have saved $30.
but then you have to buy it
I don't know. I
digitally.
like it. And that's the only reason I don't actually like it is because there isn't because they've decided not to do one physically, which I totally understand. And that's where it falls apart for me because I want everything physical. But yeah, I like it. You're wrong. Anyway, moving on. Torquell?
I think it's Torkel. I don't know. It's obviously a
All
play
right.
on torque, and then Torque L. So
Okay, well, Torquell.
for the more indie aspect, it is $9.99, £7.99, no, £7.19, sorry, and €7.99. I know what those weird shapes mean. I could understand them. Anyway,
Except that there's a brief pause right before you say them every single time. But you got it. You know them. You know them for sure.
I normally get it right on the first try. That's all that matters. Anyway,
That's-
it releases on the 15th, so that's a standard Thursday release for Nintendo. It is a 2D physics platformer. You play as a box that rolls around navigating, puzzles as you would in a 2D puzzler. And the hook for the game is that as you're spinning as your little box, you can extend any of those faces out and it'll kind of push you up and you've got an arm at that point. And it looked like an interesting, like it looks like it gives the game really interesting puzzle design. So I'm kind of intrigued. But again, as all three of the previous games are ones that I'm kind of considering picking up, this is just not going to happen. I'm not going to buy this. But it does look cool. And if you're really into the 2D like physics platformer, this is definitely your jam. And as that is not at all your jam, move on to the segment.
Hey, there was another Q&A with Nintendo leadership. The first one is on Labo. What do they say?
First off, there is a link to the PDF in the show notes if you want everything. I'm pulling out some stuff. There's some stuff about the 3DS in here that I just didn't want to talk about. But yeah, on Labo, yes, they talked about Labo again. They one of the big things that after Labo was announced was that everybody was saying this was very Nintendo, very much so Nintendo's lane, and they were complimented by that, which I mean, I guess I understand, but also it didn't feel like a compliment. So, but yeah, they felt good about that. They said that they were inspired by like watching small kids play with cardboard, which now that I say that is kind of an awkward phrase. Anyway, because it's like that. You build houses out of cardboard and whatnot, and you have a spaceship and all that fun stuff that small children do with cardboard. And they were kind of inspired by that idea. They wanted to give people trial and error with the building as well as like custom repairs. They specifically call out, I want you to be able to take your own piece of cardboard and fix something that may have been broken, which to me feels like the acceptance of the inherent flaw in Labo. Like the idea that you're gonna spend $70, $60 on this kit. No, $70 is the cheaper kit. Yeah, 70. And then it's gonna break is just that makes it a non-starter for me. You're not allowed to sell me a product for $70 that you expect to break. It's just not. Am I
No,
crazy?
but when you fix it, they're harvesting your harvesting. They're gonna harvest. They're harnessing your ingenuity.
Oh, can't sell me a crappy product that breaks and then expect me to fix it. I'd be like, that's part of the value proposition. Now you really enjoy it. Like, no.
Fix it, dork. No, it's your problem.
Exactly. I just
Isn't this fun?
and so this particular bit, we'll get into this more later, but Labo started with the idea that they wanted to use the Joy-Cons in a sensor as like in an external piece of hardware. You want to put the Joy-Con in an external piece and then have it be that super complex because again, as we keep saying, it's a technological marvel. Things are magic. And they really wanted to harness that, and they were kind of again. We'll get into that one later more. They also talk about how they wanted Labo to be a full line of products. They don't want to release these two things and then just be done with it. So if you want to see more of that, definitely support Labo, and that'll kind of give them the vote that you want more of that. That's kind of cool. I never really thought of it as a full line of products. It didn't really occur to me that was a thing that they might do. So be cool. But again, I mean, I am notoriously down on it. It's not for me. I don't have small children. I am not a small child, so I'm also not a
Doesn't your
maker.
brother count?
He's a very large child. Different.
Yeah, but at heart, he's a very small child.
Yeah.
Moving along, they also addressed Nintendo Switch Online.
So, and this is such a weird. They view the online service as a way to get more people to play more of their games, which I don't. It's such a weird way to look at online. Maybe it's just weird wording and weird translations. Like they're because I think the interview, the Q&A was done in English, so obviously not their primary language. So maybe it's just a weird translation issue. But I just don't understand this idea that they want to use this to get people to play more games. That feels like a reference to the I don't remember how they referred to it. They originally talked about how if you subscribe, you will get access to like Nintendo titles, like old school Nintendo. People have thrown about the idea that it's going to be kind of like Netflix with like shifting availability of just random old Nintendo games. And if that's what they're referencing here, then yeah, I understand it completely, and that would be awesome. But if they're just talking about online as a service, I don't understand what that means.
They could possibly be talking about accessibility, I guess. Like, I don't think accessibility is a terribly big issue. Maybe it is in some places. Maybe that's what they're talking about, getting people to play more games. Or games as a service, try to get used to that.
No.
Well, I've heard inklings
No.
that Nintendo wants games as a service.
Everybody wants
wanna
games
be
as
in
a
on that.
service.
Yeah.
I hate it. What was it?
Yeah.
Paragon just shut down. And like there's this whole game that just doesn't exist anymore. And that idea drives me crazy. The fact that in 10 years I won't be able to go back to this piece of nostalgia that I have. I mean, I personally don't have, but I've listened to a lot of people that really love that game. More so closer for me would be like League of Legends. If in 10 years League of Legends is not accessible, that would really bother me, because it's just like it's a game that so encapsulates a time period of my life, and to know that in 10 years I won't be able to go back and relive that nostalgia is very disconcerting to me. Like I don't like this. I hate this trend. As I was referencing at the start of the show with like Crash Bandicoot, that's a very, very clear section of my childhood that I can play that game and be brought back to that time period. And so when games as a service becomes a thing, it's just I'm getting off track. I don't like games as a service. They went on to say, and I quote, "We want to apply substantial resources to the online services," which it's Nintendo, so I don't know how seriously to take this, but the idea that they realize that it's not just like don't just put voice chat in it and call it a day. Don't put this one thing in it and call it good. Putting real effort into the online services is going to be critical to making this a thing that people are okay with. They go on to say, it's less about the mechanism and more about what kind of products we can offer. which tying this back into that first statement, just it feels like such a weird thing. Like this feels like we're gonna
This
be.
feels like games as a service.
Why do you hate me?
I
Why?
don't. Believe me, I don't want it either. I like that I can plug Excite Bike into my NES right now and play it if I want.
Yeah,
I'm scared. I'm scared too, and that's what this sounds like to me.
I'm hoping that people are right in the whole Netflix thing, and that it's gonna be. This is right now we've got 20% of all of the old games that we've put out, and now we're in 6 months we're gonna shift that. You can now buy those old games, but they're no longer available for free with the online. Like if that's what they
That
go
scares
with,
me more because
really,
that sounds like you're dipping your toe into the games as a service water. And oh, look how well that did. All right, well let's move from there, evolve that. That's what that sounds like to me. I'd rather the PSN thing where they like, if you want it, it's free.
you're wrong, and I hate you because I want to be
Okay,
wrong.
well.
It's just I like to be able to relive my students. Uh, and then finally, the Nintendo Japan director followed it up with, "I think our next announcement will be worth the wait." Which I mean, it's a nothing statement, but I feel like you wouldn't be hyping it up if they weren't going to have concrete details. But also, we have no idea on timeline here, so again, it's a worthless statement. I don't know why I'm giving.
All right, well then I will just move on to the next thing. They continue to see broadening the appeal and hitting non-gamers is a huge focus going forward.
I don't really understand this. I feel like they're hitting both the Nintendo faithful and the non-Nintendo faithful so far. So this continued obsession with like, I mean, we've talked about this previously. The average gamer is like a 40-year-old woman, and that person is not playing Nintendo titles very likely, and that's kind of what they want to move into. But so this is where it starts to confuse me even more. They call out Labo as a way to bring in new consumers who aren't Nintendo fans. Yeah, exactly. Colin has a very confused
Like
look on his
like
face.
like the 3-year-old fans that aren't already into Nintendo? I don't
Exactly.
understand. What 40-year-old woman is going to do that? Like what other untapped markets do they have that they think Labo fits?
I have no idea. It doesn't make. I'm speechless. It doesn't make any sense. Um, but they did go on to say, and I was hyped for this. So Miyamoto was also on the panel. The guy who did Mario, he's still with the company, by the craziness. Anyway, he made an interesting point talking about how if they can get to the Switch to the point where it is nearly ubiquitous in real life, where every person has a Switch, which is, I mean, I'm sure that's every game company's goal, but not important. They can create new ways to utilize the Switch and new ways to interact with like other people via the Switch, aka give me back Street Pass. I want Street Pass. Why is this not a thing? You were into Street Pass, right?
The I didn't really care, and then I brought it with me to PAX one year, and I got like 300 street passes in like 4 hours, and I was addicted.
Yeah, it's so good.
I was really sad when I saw it wasn't on the Switch.
So just as some background, Street Pass is you put your DS into sleep mode, and then anytime you walk by nearby somebody else with the DS, it's like 10 feet or something. Um, this DS will recognize that, and then they'll come into your DS and they'll be like, "Hi, I'm whatever my name is. Here's my avatar that I've built."
Here's the last game I played. Here's the little message I gave, or I wrote in there.
And then more importantly, so first off, you got a map that like I've seen somebody from this state and now that country. So like I had all of the nearby states, and then also someone from Japan randomly, and somebody from Germany that was in Portland. So that was really cool. And then there were admittedly kind of dumb but still fun games that you could play.
Oh,
with
those games were legit. The puzzles. Oh my god, the puzzles. I'm physically upset when I street pass somebody and they don't have a new piece for me.
So he's referencing there's a game where I feel like the data behind this would be so interesting. So one person gets every puzzle piece, probably Nintendo employees. I don't actually know how they started that one out. You get a puzzle, and then as you street pass people with pieces of that puzzle that you don't have, you then can not take them, but duplicate them onto your puzzle. So it's like this 10 by 10 grid of just little picture pieces, and as you street pass more people with more puzzle pieces, you get those from them. And I feel like watching those spread, like being able to see a geographic map of, you know, all of the Nintendo employees had that puzzle, and then watching it spread over a map would have been amazingly. Maybe I'm just a nerd. Anyway, I want Street Pass. Sorry, go on. What you got?
Well, you can also earn puzzle pieces and such just by walking with it in your pocket, because you get so many points per step. And then you can turn those in for puzzle pieces, which will unlock random puzzles and random puzzle pieces. But yeah, anyway,
No,
I need
sorry.
that. I need this on Switch.
It was also a pedometer, which is something you were alluding
Yeah,
to.
yep. It also had like the puzzles weren't even the only game. There was like towards the end of my time with it, there's an RC car game. There's also a like you get a bunch of your buddies together and you go free your avatar from a cage. You have to fight through ghosts. There's a bunch. There's a bunch of little games, and they're all ridiculous and fun, and they all really just unlock more stuff to put on your avatar to make your avatar look cooler. Like
Yeah.
I had a Link hat on mine, and I was the coolest guy in my Miiverse.
So this is great. I want this kind of stuff back. I like the idea that building interaction points with people around the idea, which is very common, is kind of cool. But obviously, that's not anything that they're going to be looking at. Probably not even next year because of supply issues. Watch the PS4 over time, the sales, the cumulative sales goes up over time, and more people get it. So it's just not something that would be super productive in year one, probably not year two. So, and then finally, as I alluded to earlier, there's a big chunk about the Joy-Con and its development. They talk about how they started it. It started with the idea that the device would be more than just a controller, that it would kind of be this super fancy, like sensor, as we saw with Labo. Like, they didn't design it with Labo in mind specifically, but they did that idea of having it in external hardware. So from the start, the hardware developers were talking to the software people about trying to find, like, how do we make this a compelling, interesting hardware? How do we, what kind of gaming stuff do we want to support? And then they also make references to the much looked down upon 1-2 Switch, which, again, they talk about how they want it to be a showcase of the Joy-Cons, and I would love it to be a showcase of the Joy-Cons, but don't make me pay $60 for it, Nintendo. Like, why? It's not going to happen.
I contend that we were never really the target audience for that.
Meh.
Like, it was meant for developers, not for us.
I know. You keep saying that, but that doesn't... They can
That just makes me feel better about it.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. They can do actual tech demos that are literally just tech demos. And they opted to do that for it, so. But yeah, that's the extent of Q&A. Again, there's some more pieces that I didn't about because I didn't feel like they were relevant or they weren't interesting, or as soon as they start talking about sales numbers, I glaze over. But the full PDF is in the show notes, and you can definitely go check that out. Yeah, that about wraps up our segments. This is where we would put emails or reviews if we got any of those. We did not get any new ones this week, as I totally remember to check, and I'm definitely not checking right now. Yep, no new reviews. But if you want to email the show or contact us, you can email us at desyncnerds@gmail.com. If you prefer Twitter, you can tweet at us at desyncnerds, or at either of us individually. I am at Kulana, Kulanah, and he is DSN Colin, DSNCOLIN. If you want to help support the show, we are on Patreon at patreon.com/desyncnerds. I am doing a daily headline roundup every morning-ish, 11 a.m. my time, where I just go through, like, these are the top 4 or 5 stories of my day. If you want to support the show but can't do so monetarily, or don't think we're worth it, which honestly we're probably not. Anyway, you can rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. That helps out the show a lot. If you want to see us live, except not this week because technical difficulties, you can catch us next Sunday at twitch.tv/desyncnerds, and then the VODs will be up on YouTube. Our channel is called Desyncnerds. We are on Discord at bit.ly/DSN Discord. There we go. Got a couple of people in there. It's been fun so far. Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Peace.